Hello, my kindergarten artists. Today we're going to be talking about texture. So I hope you watched the texture song first because it gave us a lot of different examples from fuzzy to slippery to bouncy and rough and smooth. So we're going to try and create some textures on our paper, all right? So for this project, you're going to need some kind of paper. All right, I'm just gonna use a notebook paper. And then crayons work really well. Markers will work okay. I'm going to use color sticks today. They're kind of like colored pencils. Colored pencils will work too. So go ahead and you're gonna need to grab something to color with. And also before we begin, you're going to need to pause the video and go on a scavenger hunt. You need to find things around your home that have different textures. I'll show you some examples that I've got for today. I found a coin, because if you feel it, it's not a smooth surface, it's got some rough designs on it. I found a feather, which is nice and soft. I found my spatula, which has these holes here, you can feel them. I found a flower with some nice leaves. I found a nice rough rock. I also grabbed my smooth keys, but they have these bumpy, pointy sides. And then it has a keychain with a bumpy sparkles on the pineapple. And then I found a lid to a chip. And so it's got something on its surface too. So what texture is, it's the way something feels when we touch it. What does it feel like? Hard, soft, smooth, bumpy, fluffy, fuzzy, rough. So go ahead and pause the video. Go get you some paper, something to color with, and then go on a scavenger hunt to find some objects that have texture. You might need to have a parent or an older sibling help you out, all right? Go. Okay, welcome back. We're going to get started. So I'm going to show you how to do this. You're going to take your object and you're going to put it underneath your paper. So it's hidden under there. You can kind of see it hiding there. And then you're going to take something to color with. It works really well if you lay it flat and you rub. You can also color like you normally do too. And see what shows up. You can see the ring showed up on my paper where my coin is. See if I do it again over here. I'm going to do it in the corner. And now it looks like I have a coin with an eagle on my paper. That's pretty cool. Let's try the spatula. I'm really curious what the spatula will look like. So I'm going to stick it under there. And then I'm going to rub with my color stick, or you could be using a marker or a crayon. And you can see I created the texture of the spatula on my paper. That's pretty cool. I'm going to change to green now. I wonder what this lid will look like, if this design will show up, this texture that you can feel. So you remember, you put it under your paper, and then you don't want to press too hard because you don't want to break what you're using, but then you just rub the paper on top of your thing you've got. Oh, and look at that. I've got the design from the lid. And if you run out of room, you could always go to another piece of paper. I wonder what these leaves will look like. Now my flower is not real, it's fake, so it's just cloth. So it doesn't feel as smooth as a real leaf, but I wonder what'll happen if I put it under my paper and I rub with what I'm coloring with. Ta-da! That one didn't show up as well as the lid, but you can kind of see the edge of the leaf just a little and the lines from the leaf. Some things will show up really well, but some things, they might not show up very well. I'm going to switch to another paper because I want to do my feather and it's kind of big. So I'm going to put my feather under there. And since my feather is violet, I'm going to use my violet stick the line's showing up where the middle of the feather is. I wonder if anything will show up where the fuzz of the feather is. Let's look. So here's my feather. The line showed up for the middle of the feather and kind of a little bit where the fuzz is. But some things, they have a texture for us to feel with our fingers. But when we put it under the paper to color on top, it doesn't show up. And that's okay. It's fun to find out. All right, I've got my rock now. I think I'll switch to orange. So my rock is really rough, hard and rough. And it kind of showed, that roughness showed up with lots of bumps on my paper. I wonder what the keys will look like, because they're smooth on the side, but then they're kind of sharp and pointy along the edge. So let's put a key under here. And I think I'm going to switch to green. Oh, it kind of reminds me, oh, I'm sorry, you can't even see on the camera. Kind of reminds me of the way the coin looked. So there I have the key. The keys actually work really well. And my last one is my keychain. Let's stick it under here. It's kind of rough like my rock, so I wonder if it'll look like the rock did. Some things will make a fun noise when you color on top of them too. Yep, it kind of looks rough and bumpy like my rock does. That's okay. So I've colored all of my things to show texture. So go ahead and do the same thing that I did. Put your objects under the paper one at a time and color on top. And then don't forget to show me what you created. Have fun.